India's R&D apocalypse is rapidly approaching as PhD tyrants are strangling science in red tape. India's R&D ecosystem isn't just broken, it has been hijacked, not by incompetence, but by a cabal of PhD-clad bureaucrats who have weaponized red tape to sabotage innovation. These aren't mere administrators, they're gatekeepers of a Kafkaesque empire where research grants are buried under layers of nonsensical paperwork and scientists are punished for daring to dream. The irony is the question, who is orchestrating this farce? Not career bureaucrats, but PhD holders, academic turned despots who have traded lab coats for power suits and now revel in suffocating it. They have erected bureaucratic fortresses so impenetrable that securing funding feels like negotiating with a medieval warlord. If you want a grant, submit endless documents even after it is approved. Let us see the carnage in numbers. Grants delayed for 6 to 12 months, crippling time-sensitive projects. A third of funds easily lapse annually, siphoned back into government coffers. And 3/4 of researchers admit spending more time pleading for money than doing research. This isn't inefficiency, it is systemic sabotage. And here is the bureaucrats' playbook of how to kill innovation. Number 1, rule by obscurity. Each agency invents its own Byzantine application process. Trying to apply for 2 grants, master 2 dialects of bureaucratic gibberish. Number 2, delay until despair. Keep researchers guessing about when will the funds be released. And number 3, accountability, a big question mark. Never heard of it. No consequences for delays. Funds vanished, blame procedural requirements. The net consequence is exodus. India's brightest now flee like refugees. Why battle a paperwork hydra when labs abroad offer funding in weeks? Those trapped domestically either abandon research or morph into grant-writing drones, their creativity extinguished by Excel sheets. There are historical precedents, quite famous of them I will recount, where academics act as executioners. Remember Martin Heidegger, the Nazi-sympathizing philosopher and a celebrated mentor of Hannah Arendt? Purged Jewish scholars, the most productive minds of the time, out of German universities. Consider Alan Turing, the father of computer, was hounded for his sexuality, not by some random bureaucrat, but by his own academic peers at Oxford. And then there is Andrei Sakharov, the Nobel laureate physicist, denounced by his fellow Soviet academics for being a dissident. Today, India's PhD overlords channel this legacy, strangling dissent and innovation with equal zeal. We have ISRO's example, but ignored. ISRO thrives because it bypasses the bureaucratic rot, reporting directly to the Prime Minister office, skipping the soul-crushing micromanagement of line ministries. That is the secret sauce. Line ministries, on the other hand, are busy guarding their turf, micromanaging autonomous bodies and agencies to a point where autonomous is just a word on paper. If the PhD-holding overlords heading government R&D funding bodies don't take a page out of ISRO's playbook, Indian science is headed for a doom. And the final insult is that these bureaucrats aren't just incompetent, they are sadists. They derive perverse joy from watching scientists grovel. What is their legacy? A wasteland of unused funds, abandoned labs, and a generation of researchers broken by red tape? Is this their legacy? Let us call it what it is. It is treason, not against the state, but against the very idea of scientific progress. If India's R&D dies, its epitaph will read, "Killed by PhDs who forgot their past as researchers." So it is time to purge the parasites before they turn our labs into museums. All the best.